Hi.
Hello. Right.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are recording.
Cool. Hi. Hi. I'm doing an intro for this because no one did one. So we're actually at the end of the build. Cert guy's on his way today. So I'm just going to go over basically how this came about. So we had an approach by the customer, told us that he had an E30, wanted to turbo it. We started discussing a few things like, you know, maybe do we RB swap it or 2J swap it or something like that. He wanted to stay with a straight 6. In the end we decided to actually keep with the factory motor, which is the M20B25, and just work from that. So it started kind of like talking about, you know, we'll make a manifold, we'll put a turbo on it, and after talking with like Nathan who fabbed all that up, Turbo Care who supplied the turbo, and then we started talking about fuel systems, got the customer in, and then the decision was that we're going to go full show spec, which some of the videos that have been taken, which we'll follow through into JP shortly, talking about what we've done on the car, but you'll be able to see what we've done. So it's come out really, really nice. There is some future stuff that we're going to do on the car, so we're talking about doing some forge internals and turning the boost up later. There is a Rocket Bunny kit in the mix, which I think is on its way to go on this car as well. So at the moment, as I'll probably mention through the video, that it will come back for some more work, but it's pretty much done. And he's going to drive it over Christmas, the summer and everything, and we'll probably see it back next year. But yeah, let's carry through to the video and we'll talk about what we've done and some tuning videos and whatnot.
Thought you guys also might want to have a look at the underneath of the E30. It's probably not as impressive as under the bonnet, but it's still nice nevertheless. This customer wanted his dream car. This was like stage 1 for him before we go to a full built motor, so still M20. Nathan has built this phenomenal, smexy, nice sounding 3-inch exhaust system for it. Has a new Quaife ATB with a nice cover and all zinc bolts, which is real nice. It was kind of important that we changed the diff because this was a factory open diff model, which would have been spicy. You can see all the PTFE AN lines all nice and tucked away. We've got it all mounted. It does have a surge tank in the boot, which I'll show you, which is actually like, but yeah, all PTFE lines. So later down the track, customer wants to turn the power up, or it can run on any fuel he likes. So fit and forget part. That's why we use PTFE. We don't use regular, what do they call it, poverty braid. You can see all the dump pipe and all new arms, new bushes. Probably get up in there, see how nice and tight that is around the steering column. That was a little bit tricky, but it got done. You can see the brand spanking new Smexy Turbo Smart 45mm gate. Again, all PTFE lines. We got a MRP, Man and Racing Products conversion kit for some Woolwoods. Kind of can't really see, but again, really super tidy, nice job. Tucking in the intercooler, there's actually an oil cooler up there. It's all nice and compact, can't really see it, it's nice and stealth. But I just thought, you know, you guys might want to see sort of the underneath of the car, and then we'll get to the engine bay and the surge tank. Hopefully see this car back for stage 2 at some stage, which will be full built bottom end, and customer's got a target of around 650 horsepower, so that'll be the next thing. But he wants to go and enjoy it for the summer and rip some skids. So yeah, I'll get the bonnet open and we'll have a look at the engine bay and the surge tank. As I just said with Movie Magic, we were going to open the back up so the car's come down. That was in there on purpose, you genius. Make sure you put that on camera too. Anyway, before we were rudely interrupted by Mia Khalifa, as I said, we did a nice little surge setup in here. The customer wanted to be able to obviously see it and wanted to kind of make it a little bit of a centerpiece in his boot or trunk. So fabricated up this mean little platform. We are running a Aeroflow surge tank. Aeroflow now make these really nice adapters to put EFI fuel pumps in the surge tanks. So it actually has an in-tank fuel pump in the surge tank, which is really nice and quiet for a road car. Nathan's obviously laid everything out all nice and beautiful, as he normally does. Some dimple dies and stuff. Oh. Well, yeah. So yeah, nice little centerpiece. Fits in there nice and tidy, trimmed up all the carpet and everything. So nice and easy to work on too. That's the big thing. Some people like to hide the stuff and whatever, but it's just made it real nice to work on. Looks quite smexy. And I suppose we'll move to the engine bay just quickly, run over that, and we'll get on the dyno. So we decided to go for the update the factory engine. Originally we were discussing like 2Js and stuff like that, but the customer really decided that it wanted to keep it true to BMW, and we think it's kind of cool that it's still staying with the standard motor. Nathan has gone ahead and fabricated, so this is the catch tank. We've got a overflow bottle, and that's even the windscreen washer. We've gone ahead and got everything all painted up black for him, so it all nice black and silver. Nice turbo care turbo, so that gives us room to move for later when we do the bottom end. The customer's got a whole idea of kind of making this into somewhat of a DTM style car, so this turbo will do what we need to do now, but it'll be more than enough for later. We have a Phoenix Core custom side tanks, oil coolers kind of tucked up in there, you kind of can't see it, but all hand fabricated, pipe work, even down to the rad stuff that you can see at the top. Running a Heltec R3, moved it to bigger coils, again turbo smart fuel pressure reg. Yeah, it's one of those things where we've future proofed it for later. The customer can enjoy it how it is, and then build on the whole platform as he goes, and turn the power up later. It's got sensors from here to Africa, so obviously the normal coolant pressure, coolant temp, sorry, but we have fuel pressure, oil temp, oil pressure. We're monitoring pretty much everything we can on the engine, and it's just going to be a great little package for him. Lots of room to grow, and yeah, it should be just what he's after. Nathan spent yesterday putting in these bonnet vents, which are going to be needed for later on. He even, right down to the fuel rail, couldn't get anything local that was going to be suffice, that wasn't made in the big Asian continent, so we decided to make our own. So this is the engine bay, and I think it's not quite finished, as you can see, as in we've still got a little bit of tidying up to do, but it's kind of the general gist of it. I think it's going to be a great little package.
Hi roll. Back onto the Beamer. We've had it on the dyno already, just doing some partials and a few other things. We're going to put some boost in it today. I'm hoping run about 10-12 pound. It is a factory block. We do have a thicker head gasket in it for a decomp, so still got factory rods, still got factory pistons. The head has been sent away and has had all the valve guides and everything all tidied up because they're all a bit loosey-goosey. So that's all done, back on. Everything's running perfectly. We've done heat cycles, all good. So back into it, get some boost into it. Customer wants all the noises, so crackles, lumpy idle, which we've already done. The exhaust isn't overly loud. It might be something we might want to maybe pull the resonator out later. But yeah, it's been an awesome build. Looks real nice. I know JP's gone through what we've already done. But yeah, my job now is to get it tuned. Future for the car, just so everyone is aware, there is already a Rocket Bunny kit ready to go on this car. Customer's going to drive it over the holidays. We got some new wheels going on it. We're going to half cage it. We're going to put some bucket seats in it. So this is all next year work, but the performance of the car is pretty much there. This turbo is a big turbo. It's what we normally put on a built RB25. This being a 2.5 litre BMW straight 6, it just kind of made sense. So this turbo is capable. We could run up to 30 pound in it. So sitting 10-12 a pound, I don't expect anything to get hot, and I reckon it's going to run pretty mint. But this with a built motor, 20 pound in it, will make a shitload of power. But today 12, 10, and yeah, should be enough to do a skid, and that's, I guess, the important thing. But yeah, let's get into it. Do a couple of runs, just check everything's working. But yeah, we're ready to close the door, put all the fans on and everything, and yeah, send it.
the matter, boss?
Oh no, they were just double checking coolant. It just looks like it's sitting at about 91, so the coolant system on this was really blocked. Just out of the engine, so we bled it up and all this muddy water came out of it and the radiator, so we have flushed it. Just wondering if maybe some crud got inside the thermostat or something, but we're sitting at 92, like that's cold on that side. That's really hot. That's really hot, that's really cold. So the water going through the engine's fine, but it's just inherently hot coming out of the head, so we might have an airlock somewhere in the motor, or it's got a blockage in the engine somewhere. So yeah, just another thing just we gotta look at. I'm just checking at the level on that is, so yeah, it's like super cold on that side, that's nice and cold, that's hot. So yeah. Is that's going to be the hottest, then you would expect that to be the next hottest, then obviously down the bottom, then it flows back to this side, then it drops, and then it flows to that side. But that corner,
No, it's not.
that corner
I think
should
it's only
be
twin pass.
no, it's dual. As you can see, this is the
That's what I
yeah.
said. Twin pass.
Twin pass, yeah. But the bottom corner there, which is the last point before it goes across back to that side, should be colder than that. But that there is colder than that bottom corner. Like that feels like it's cold water coming out of it. It's like icy, and then that corner is not. That coolant.
So what are we trying to remedy, Daniel?
Just coolant. It's just getting really hot after like one run. But the system was really blocked the other day when we first kind of had it on the dyno. So we only had water in it. It's a cast iron block, aluminium head, so you always run pure water through the system. And after we did some partials on the dyno and everything, we checked the water coolant. It was like brown and muddy, so we've flushed all that out. And yeah, it's potential that some of that muddy water might have blocked some passageway galleries, maybe. So JB's just checking that, because when we was on the dyno the other day, it was like holding temp fine. It would really even barely get over like 80 degrees. But like we put the bonnet, we put the bumper back on, and it shouldn't have made that much of a difference, because that's a real grunty fan that we got on it. So yeah, just get to the bottom of it. But yeah, no biggie.
Oh, you got key on? Can I just check the alternator quickly? Keys on, eh? Dan, keys on?
Keys on, but we can't start it yet.
That's cool. Can I just check that thing? Check.
I will get it off the dyno and I will I'll drain the coolant out of it and
Check the thermostat.
check the thermostat.
Ignition's on then? That's what I said, is the key on? Yeah. No, it wasn't on. No.
I'll make sure that we've got no blockages. I'll chuck the camera in the radiator and just see, because we did run a flush through it because there was some crack in the block. I assume that we just got something blocked up somewhere, but I'll have a look. I'll have a look.
Yay, we fixed it.
What?
Belt's having a party. The belt's having a party, not turning. Well, the belt turns the water pump, turns the alternator, and so the alternator's down on voltage. So we just looked at it, and then Jeremy just looked down and he's like, "Hey, wait, look, the belt's spinning." So the water pump's not turning around. So that's probably more likely our issue. There's no flow.
I did hear it squeal.
Yeah, it only squealed bad on that last run though, didn't it?
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
Kelly did the belt.
Kelly did the belt.
Oh, that's an inside joke, that one.
soon done, but those last couple of runs it got hot. It's spun the belt, so it turns out that it's just the belt and the water pump's not turning and not pushing. Well, it is turning but not enough. From a result point of view though, we will get it back on the dyno. A few other little things. It's got a little minor leak coming from the gearbox, and we've just need to sort out the speedo drive because that's doing some weird shit. But anyway, so we're on 0.9 bar, so that's freedom units. We're on 13 pound. It's actually probably a bit less than that. It's about 0.85. This dyno does read a little, probably a pound higher than what it should be, so it's pretty much 12 is what I'm targeting, and that's what I'm seeing on the logs. But yeah, 229 wheel was the best run, which is good for a straight 6, and in kilowatt at the engine we are now making 229 at the wheels, at the crank roughly 275, so we're actually more than double on what it makes factory, so that's good. As I said, more than enough to do a skid. We will obviously give that more boost later down the track once it's got a forged engine. Probably go say 20 pound or something like that on the turbo would be nice with all the right supporting mods, and we should be, I reckon this thing quite easily crack mid 300s, high 300s with kind of like that boost level, so, and the right timing and the right compression and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it really, and we'll just get it back on the dyno. We'll do a couple more power runs. I know you want some of the crackles on the decel, which I've got to add in just to get it kind of where it sounds good, not the typical Golf pops and bangs, but almost it.